Hi there guys, welcome to the episode. Oh, and welcome to 2024. We made it. So yeah, we've survived 2024, the first week of 2024. And I say survived, it has been so cold up here, it's ridiculous. We've had temperatures of below -40. Even the polar bears that roam around on the streets have been cold. This is a picture that I took the other day of them. Might not be genuine. Now I did do a little film on one of my other platforms, TikTok. I did a little video showing just how cold it was and the problems of living at -36. Now that video on TikTok has gone absolutely mad. And at the time of filming this video, it had over 430,000 views, which is just crazy. It's absolutely amazing. I'll put this 25-second long video up here. Another amazing thing about it is it was actually featured on French TV, which was quite an amusing thing to me. It's about -36, and just to show you how cold it is, the cars are all plugged in to the heater and they're plugged into these posts here. That's how cold it is.
Température la plus basse enregistrée en 25 ans. Sur les réseaux sociaux, un habitant débranche un câble qui se raidit instantanément.
Ça, c'est l'effet du froid.
So the video I made before the new year was talking about her behind me, the star of the show, Alice. And at the moment, plans are really being put into action because, as you've seen in that video, we're taking her to England. We're driving her the 3,600 and something mile journey all the way to England from the top of Sweden, just underneath the polar circle. So what I need to do now is get her ready for the journey. And part of that is going to get it ready for the MOT so that she's road legal. So there's a few things that we took up in the film with Gustav. If you haven't seen that video already, go and have a look at it, because that'll tell you what we need to get done to this car. But a quick run through is the exhaust system, the battery. I need to do the crankcase ventilation for it, and there's a couple of cables and stuff that aren't quite properly secured. So there's small things to be done, which still need to be done. So one of the things that was taken up was the battery and the catch tank are in the boot, which is fine to have them in the boot, but the battery needs to be in a tray. Now I did have flimsy plastic holder for it, which was, for me, it was okay, but when Gustav looked at it, he said it's a bit flimsy, and so the cables here are very open and exposed, which he didn't like with the fuel line being in here as well. So I've been and bought a box for it, and I started to put the box in, but it's not level, so I've got a plate to put in now to level this all up. So that's going to be done. And one of the things that's going to be a problem for going to England is the fact that this catch tank sticks up about 10 centimetres, 4 inches in old money, above the boot floor. So I won't be able to actually get the boot floor in here. Now the battery is fairly level with here, so I'm not too worried about that. And once it's fitted, it'll be fine. It'll be kind of level with this. But this catch tank is too tall, so I've ordered a smaller one. It's only a 1 litre tank. This one at the moment is a 2 litre tank, but I've ordered a 1 litre tank, so that'll bring it right down here, and I'll be able to put a boot floor in here. Once the boot floor's in here, that means I'll be able to use it for storage. I'll be able to put luggage and stuff like that in the boot. So the catch tank is on its way, should be sent tomorrow, should get it at the end of the week. So I'll be fitting that in one of the videos coming up. I'll also be fitting this plate that I've made to the boot floor and fitting the battery and its tray to the floor as well. So that's later date stuff, but it's started to get done. What you'll also notice is the boot floor never been painted. So I've got a can of paint. So when I've got the catch tank out of the way, when I've got the battery out of the way, and before I fit that piece of metal, I will be spraying the inside of the boot, so that looks all nice and neat. So there's a couple of things I need to do in the boot, and the boot is really somewhere I've never really done anything with apart from bolting the catch tank and the battery in. It's time for some TLC in the boot here.
and that'll be coming up in a future video. The catch tank has arrived this week now, so I've got the catch tank, empty this whole boot and give it a quick coat of paint, and it should look really, really nice in there. I do have some plans for those two front seats. I did fit the front two seats here. They're all right. One of them is slightly damaged, the driver's seat. My plan was to kind of fix that at some point, and it wasn't too desperate, but now I'm going to spend about 10 days sitting in this car driving, so I do have a bit of a plan for these two front seats, and I'm hoping to get that done before we leave to England.
I'm not going to say too much more about that, basically because I don't want to get my own hopes up too high, but I do have a plan, and I hope it's going to be pretty unique for this car. She definitely needs a wash. So I think the exhaust makes an absolutely beautiful noise. I really, really enjoy that noise, especially at low speeds when you're kind of cruising along and then you put your foot down. It has a really nice rasping noise to that exhaust. So yeah, I really like the noise of this exhaust. Unfortunately, the MOT doesn't, because it's way too loud. I measured this with my phone with the sound meter app, and according to that, it was fine. But when Gustav came here with his proper device and measured it, it was way over the limits. So I do need to rebuild the exhaust and put an extra silencer in the system. I'd love to keep the exhaust as it is because I think it sounds nice. I may keep this exhaust and put it on after the MOT, but we'll keep that quiet for now. So anyway, I like the exhaust, but unfortunately the MOT doesn't. So I have to now make another exhaust with an extra silencer in it. So that's one of the things that's got to be done, and that will be done fairly shortly, really, because I need to get that done for its MOT, because I need to get Gustav back here again. I need to get him to properly do a measurement of it, but obviously I need the snow to be gone so we can do the measurements outside. So it's something that needs to be done. It needs to be done before the snow goes, so that it can be done as soon as the snow goes. I can get it MOT'd, and that's really the plan, is to get it MOT'd. So unfortunately the exhaust and the noise that it's got at the moment will have to go. Whether it will stay gone, I don't know, but we don't say too much. So one of the things that Gustav mentioned was the evacuation for the engine. Now I know a lot of people in England do put this on here, just an ordinary filter on there. I know some people put catch cans here and just lead the exhaust up to this catch can here, which I could do, but it's really going to be an expense that I don't really need to do. What I want to do is take, and what Gustav suggested, is to take a hose from here and lead it all the way around here and just put it back into there. So any oil that gets burned off by the engine gets fed back into the engine again, and it keeps it as a closed loop system as it was from the factory. So that's what I'm going to do, is just take a hose from there, lead it back into here, and then back round again. I do want to change this for a silicone hose because, well, it's ugly, that is. So I'll probably get a silicone hose coming down here and attaching to the MAF sensor here, and then I'll be able to put an adapter here to get the hose up to the engine around there. So that's what I have to do with that. Not a massive job, to be quite honest. So it's just a new silicone hose and a new hose to there. So that's one of the things that's got to be done. At the moment, as you'll see over there, I've got some wiring problems. More of that probably in the next video. I think I've sorted the wiring problem out, but then my heater fan starts burning instead. So I've got to sort that out. But I'm getting on to that. That's not going to be a problem before we leave. So as I said in that video, the plan is to take her to England. Now, that is a 3,654 miles, something stupid like that. It's a massive amount of miles to drive. It's going to take me about 5 days through 5 different countries. And the reason for me doing that is to go to a one-day car show. Now, it's not just any old car show. It is actually Ford Fair. that I'm going to. So Ford Fair is the 11th of August this year. I do have a video from Ford Fair last year, which was my first time going to Ford Fair, and I have to say I was both impressed and completely overwhelmed by exactly how many people and cars there were. I've seen later that there were over 5,000 cars there, and there was over 18,000 people that came to that show. So I did say in the last video that Ford Fair had started announcing that they were going to sell in tickets and things like that, and what cars were coming to the show, and I put mine up saying it would be nice to go there, but you know, it's a long way. And a couple of comments, people saying, yeah, you should do it, yeah, you should do it. And I kind of thought eventually, yeah, I should do it. When else am I going to get to a car show in England with Alice? I may as well just do it. So that's the plan. I'm going to go to the Ford show, the 11th of August this year. So I can just say I've already got a place on a stand, so I will be there with Alice on a stand, so you will be able to see me there. I won't go into too much details at the moment, but it's coming along quite nicely. Plans are in place and I'm working on them as such at the moment. So probably next week I want to start talking to people because I need to get some sponsors for this journey. It's going to take 5 days, like I say. It's going to go through 5 different countries. It's over 3,000 miles, nearly 4,000 miles driving, so that's a lot of petrol. And then it's got to go 5 days back again. So I need some help with this, so that's what I'm going to start doing next week, is going out to companies. So if you do know of anybody, or if you do own a company yourself and you want to be seen alongside Alice, or actually along the side of Alice, actually, because I want to put stickers on here from the companies on the side of the car here, so that if you decide to sponsor this journey, we'll be seen on as many videos as I possibly can, as much Instagram, as much YouTube, as much social media that I possibly can. Obviously it will go out on my Instagram, my Facebook, and obviously my YouTube channels. But I am also in talks with other people as well, other YouTube channels, other magazines, other car shows, things like that. So I want to get as much exposure for the people that sponsor this trip as possible. If you're interested, put a message down below. I will put my contact details down there and you can send me an email and we'll get into talks from there. So as soon as the snow's gone, I want to get her MOT'd and ready and on the road. And then as I said earlier, I want to get some miles on her. So I'd like the sponsors to be on the car beforehand, which means as I drive around in this car, all the sponsors will be seen along the car. I also have quite a few car shows to go to, so she will be seen at car shows and she will be seen with all these stickers along the side of the car is the plan. Obviously I've got the bonnet and I've got the roof that I can put stickers on as well if somebody wants to. Now I've got a few bits of work, as I've said, so I'm going to crack on with a few of them, and the first one, I need to get the lights sorted out. I've got a bit of a problem with that, but more about that in the next episode. So if you like what you've seen in this video, please press that subscribe button. You can also follow me on my Instagram, on my Facebook. I do have a TikTok channel, don't use it very much, but I do have one, so occasionally I'll put a channel up there. So make sure you press the subscribe buttons on there as well. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.